The beavers did that.
On Earth Day, there's a river cleanup that happens in the earlier morning.
How we multitask when we do music is the same way that we multitask when we do any job.
Not only eat the food, but they will understand their philosophy. That's very important.
Happy Easter to you.
If you found the body of Jesus today, Christianity's over.
Surrey, I'm Leah Bolton.
I'm Dean.
Fraser Focus, a fresh perspective beyond the bridge.
Hey everyone, welcome to Fraser Focus, local faces and local places. I'm Leah Bolton.
And I'm Dean Atwell. Thanks for joining us again this week. Spring is in full swing here in the Fraser region, and we're going to pique your interest by celebrating at the annual Vaisakhi Parade.
It is also Easter this week, so we are gearing up to find out what the actual meaning of Easter is. And we head over to Langley to visit some local young composers.
However, to start off the show, another occurrence that is happening this week to celebrate, it's Earth Day.
Welcome. This is the Great Blue Heron Nature Reserve. Hands up, have you ever been here before? Have anybody been here before? Cool. Great. Hands down. Thank you. So we call this a reserve and not a park.
In the early 1940s, it was a military training area. It was in the early 1950s that the lagoon was built. And the reason that it was built is because they needed to have a water body to practice building bridges over.
They're not alive anymore, but they are real. So what's this guy behind me?
Blue heron.
Yeah, so this is the Great Blue Heron. Every March, April, May, and June, we get hundreds of them coming here.
If you start looking, you can see there's these little dark spots in the trees, and those are all heron nests.
No way.
Pretty cool, huh?
I'm sending in a donation, no doubt about it. This is phenomenal. The kids need this.
Yeah.
We all need this.
What's happened?
The beavers did that.
They came back, and they always do.
I saw blue herons.
Blue herons, they're pretty cool, right? How big are their wings? Huge.
There's some funny noise. They make some crazy noises.
Oh, look at all those birds.
Yeah, so here they come. Something has disturbed them. It could be us.
Those are blue herons.
Those are the blue herons.
We talk about recycling. We do a lot of that. We do crafts out of recycling opposed to always buying something new to prepare something.
If you go towards the office there,
Yep.
You can probably park in front of the very first car that's there.
This is our compactor. Okay. So basically on the other side of the wall, they're basically pushing garbage into the compactor, and it basically pushes into the compactor and gets basically to like a 31-ton bale.
This 50-foot trailer gets filled with about 31.5 tons of compacted garbage, and there's about 20 to 30 of these trailers leaving this facility every single day.
As a resident, you can drop off waste and also recycling. So you'll notice that in a lot of the facilities there is an increasing integration of recycling options along with the waste disposal, just to encourage people to choose to separate out those recyclables when they're bringing in their garbage.
Where do you like that?
Anywhere in the bin. Perfect. Yeah.
Do you ever get confused about what goes in which bin?
Well, it's in the city just gave us like a guidelines where I can put that thing.
Oh, those guidelines really help you,
yeah,
eh?
that is a big help.
What would be a common one that people don't know about but they throw out typically? What do you think?
Cardboard usually.
Cardboard?
Yes. It's amazing how many people throw their cardboard away.
So we encourage people to separate their recycling from their waste before they get here, so that they can drop off their waste on one end, and then they can also drop off their recyclables here in this same room. So we've got areas for cardboard, for metals for recycling.
Now here at the Surrey transfer station, residential clients have the option of dropping off items that are still in good use here to the Salvation Army drop box. Let's see what Leah's up to talking about Earth Day.
Jaden, do you have a question you wonder? They can fly really, really good. Okay.
They planted a tulip and they've planted an oak tree. So one of those will come home for Earth Day, and I know that the same thing happens
in the schools. My son will come home with something to plant.
On Earth Day, we host there's a river cleanup that happens in the earlier morning, and then we, from noon to 4, will have special free nature programs and crafts.
First Earth Day.
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do?
I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. It'd be cool to come here.
Stay on the rock. Earth Day is celebrated globally on April 22nd. We'll be right back here on Fraser Focus in a moment.
This experience of playing chamber music together is an instant connection that I hadn't experienced before I started.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fraser Focus, local faces and local places. Right now I'm in Langley with some amazing musical talent. These kids are showing me how it's done.
We've been in the community for more than 45 years. Our motto is bringing music to life, and we have programs here for babies starting at about 6 months of age and right through to senior citizens.
Sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too.
Well, this is our chamber music camp, and so what you're seeing here today, of course, is an example of some of our advanced and senior level students who've been playing their instruments quite a number of years to get to this level.
I usually practice an hour, 2 hours a day.
An hour to 2 hours a day?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
I think I should play more.
What's your favorite thing about music?
The parts in the song where it gets intense.
I like calming, relaxing music, just kick back and relax, or if there's something sweet happening, I like those types of music.
I actually have no sight whatsoever.
Do you find it easier to play music or more difficult?
Number one, I have to memorize absolutely everything.
Oh, you must have a good memory.
Sometimes memorizing a piece of music can be really easy and it only takes me 2 days. However, sometimes it may take me even a week or two.
Exactly together.
It's a little different than sports where you have a competition. There's always, but this is a communal sort of project. You work cooperatively to do things.
It's like nice to get together with people like our age to do something that has a point rather than just having fun elsewhere and not really getting anything educational out of it.
I've been a part of sports teams and all kinds of things. I'm quite involved in my school, stuff like that. And this experience of playing chamber music together is an instant connection that I hadn't experienced before I started.
When's the first time you started playing music?
I started playing music, I think, when I was 5.
5? That's early.
I know. Well, usually we started off with like a box instead for violin. It was like, because you can't really give a 5-year-old a real violin. It's probably going to drop it. So, yeah, I started off with a box, and then after I got a violin, and then I kept on practicing, and I really liked playing it. But I also did ballet, so I had to choose between ballet and violin, and I chose violin.
How do you get them to practice?
Gummy bears every once in a while, yeah. It depends on the child, because like my oldest, we don't even have to prod her. She would play piano for 2 hours every day without us telling her to stop.
What's your next goal? Where are you going to take this music to?
Well, at this point, I may or may not become professional. I have no idea. I do have other interests, so I'm not totally sure.
One of the things that we're really trying to bring to the kids is that there's music in so many different ways, and how we multitask when we do music is the same way that we multitask when we do any job.
right here in Langley. We'll be right back here on Fraser Focus in a moment.
The entire community, whether you're Sikh, white, it is the festival and probably one of the best civic holidays of Surrey.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fraser Focus, local faces and local places.
The festival of Vaisakhi marks the start of the spring harvest for the South Asian Punjabi Sikh community.
The Fraser region celebrates with one of the biggest parades in the world.
Vaisakhi is a great celebration. Whether it's the Cultural Harvest Festival or for Sikhs, it's the initiation of the Order of the Khalsa. But here in Surrey, I think it's a day to celebrate. It's a day of vibrancy, a day of food, a day of unity.
22, 21, 24. Oh yeah, that did help.
Awesome. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
My mom had become a Sikh in the 80s, and so I was just born into it.
You would consider yourself a North American Sikh, and your daughter?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and she's, half Punjabi, so we're just Sikhs. We don't really make a discrimination on what kind, but we're just Sikhs.
I discovered Sikhi last year, and it has changed my life. And I also become vegetarian because of that.
How else does it change your life, if you don't mind me asking?
Honestly, it's actually quite difficult because of my cultural upbringing, and by not following my family tradition, like become Buddhist and that kind of thing, is really difficult. But how to balance embracing new faith and also be a good son in a very traditional, feudal Buddhist family, I find it not easy.
And here you are.
Yes, here I am. And I believe I'm the only one crazy Chinese in Vancouver that wears the turban.
So in the Sikh faith, we're meant to keep our hair covered because hair is a sacred thing. We're not meant to cut our hair. Best way to keep hair tied up is with a turban.
My mom was Catholic, my dad was Anglican, and I got to hang out with both. And a lot of the Catholic stuff actually molds quite well with Sikhism.
And I feel like it's a very inclusive religion, which is what I've learned. And I for one, enjoy going to the Gurudwara Sahib for langar and just to feel the peacefulness.
The YouTube channel? Oh my God, you live under a rock. Come on, check out the Explain Sikhi in English.
When people talk about spirituality, there's something, they feel there's something and they want to experience that. So in terms of that practical spirituality, definitely within Sikhism, I found that within our chanting of the Lord's name and just that meditation process. I started researching more. The more I researched, the more I liked it. Came in with what I already believed in one God, one humanity, and that one Lord God is in within everyone else as well. So we have to have compassion for other people in that aspect.
They like to share their food, that's all I know.
Yeah, I think things like charity activities, because they gave everything to the people, let them enjoy, not only eat the food, but they will understand their philosophy. That's very important.
The entire community, whether you're brown, Sikh, white, Christian, all come out. 350,000 plus people come out, celebrate for a week long in the streets of Surrey, eat food, celebrate it in the evenings with shows. It is the festival and probably one of the best civic holidays of Surrey.
Whoa, thank you.
This faith-based parade attracts over 350,000 people annually.
Oh, that's a lot of people, and more importantly, that is a lot of food.
You're watching Fraser Focus. We'll be right back.
It's really important to teach kids about healthy eating because you want them to get started on the right foot when they're younger.
Welcome back to Fraser Focus, local places and local faces.
This is a nice local place. Next up, we have Easter coming up, and we're talking about what the holiday really means.
You mean it's not all about the Easter Bunny and chocolate?
You wish it was.
Father, thank you for sending your son Jesus down to die on a cross, live a perfect life, something that we could not do. And then 3 days later, resurrect himself and conquer death. And that is nothing about what we can bring you, but it's everything about what you've given us. In your precious and glorious name, amen.
I heard the voice of Jesus.
Do you guys celebrate Easter?
Church service late at night, Saturday evening. Goes until about midnight or 1 a.m. and then a big feast afterwards.
I mean, there are people who still celebrate the mainly faith aspect of it, but I think these days it's become more of a family thing.
I found in him a resting place, and he has made...
Good Friday, first of all, Good Friday when Jesus went to the cross and died for our sins, right? It was a very, a down day in a church. We kind of, it's almost like it's not a celebration. It's kind of like, our Father died for us. It's sad, right?
What do you guys do for Easter?
We have chocolate.
You have chocolate, Steve, yeah?
I used to when I was a kid.
You did?
Oh yeah, I had lots of chocolate.
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hopping, Easter's on its way.
Where did the chocolate bunny come from? Do you know?
I don't know where the chocolate part came from, but the bunny came from, pagan rituals of fertility.
None of us have all the right answers, but discussing within our group and living life together is part of what we do.
It's about that preconceived notion that, oh, Easter has to do with chocolate. Well, same as Christianity has to be, you have to be perfect to be there. Gosh, no.
He is risen indeed!
Easter was like, hey, is the bunny coming? And there's chocolate, and that's that. That's what I look forward to every year. Yeah. But there's more to it, right?
Much more to it. So I grew up very similar, the same. Became a Christian when I was, 17 years old, and didn't start going to church till I was about 19. And so when I did, I started realizing that Easter was kind of the whole center point of Christianity. And it says either this event actually happened in history or it didn't. And so you can go to the tombs of the founders of all the religious leaders, but you go to the tomb of Jesus and it's empty, and that's the point. He's not there. He died. We know that historically. A whole bunch of people who were writing in the first century, Josephus and Suetonius and all these people wrote about how there's a guy named Jesus of Nazareth. He did miracles. He died under Pontius Pilate. And then they claimed, 3 days later, all of his followers said that he rose from the dead. I don't understand what's going on. And they never found the body. They still haven't found the body. If you found the body of Jesus today, Christianity's over.
All right. Happy Easter to you. Why don't you turn to somebody and say, welcome, happy Easter, welcome to Village Church.
So Dean, last year for Easter, how many chocolate eggs did your kids find?
Too many. I lost count.
Did you at least help them eat them?
I helped out twice as hard. You're watching Fraser Focus. Speaking of food, it's time to head into another community story.
That's right. Superchefs are cooking up a storm.
We usually have about 18 kids per week. And so we do things like crepes and parfaits. We do pita pizzas, pastas. Who we got?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi, good.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
How are y'all doing? You guys excited for today?
Yeah.
Do you guys do a lot of cooking at home?
No.
Number one rule in the kitchen, we always wash our hands first. So
All
let's
right.
get everyone to wash their hands.
Let's get washing, kiddos.
Here you go.
So how long have you been on the program? How long have you been?
I've been on the program for, I think, 6 years now. I started off volunteering at just several events, and then I got invited to help out at the summer camps, which is really nice. What's the most dangerous thing about a stove?
It's hot.
It's hot. We don't want to burn our hands. Because if we're cooking here and say I want to lean against it and I put my hand right there, I'm going to burn my hand right off.
How important is it to teach kids about, healthy eating, and why do we do it?
It's really important to teach kids about healthy eating because you want them to get started on the right foot when they're younger to set them up for later because cooking is such an invaluable skill.
Yeah, do you guys like healthy food?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You like fast.
Also remember, when you're using the stove, if something's hot, you always want to be watching it. And if you're not on it and say it's off and it's cooling down, you want to turn the handle to the side. Does anyone know why?
Because the handle will be hot.
Say the pan's hot, it's off right now, but the hot surface is still on. And say Dean was on the stove and he left and I was walking by and I hit it and it comes off and it's on the ground and it's gonna hurt somebody, right? So.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
The easiest thing for me, it's the only thing I've ever gotten to cook is pancakes.
Aiden, how about you? What do you like?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers.
So you can grab right here. Ready? Nice! Look at that foot. This guy's a master. Nice job. Can you come teach our classes next year?
Yes.
How young can a child learn how to hold a knife or cut with a knife?
Hold a
What would you
knife?
say?
What do you think, Austin?
What would
Probably around.
We usually do, the youngest would be around 8 years old.
Let's do the pepper.
Lovely.
Okay, we'll give it a nice wash, make sure all the dirty stuff's gone.
Not gonna lose your fingers there, are you?
No, we're using a nice bridge technique. Not gonna lose any fingers here.
An image of what a healthy plate would look like for if you guys are eating dinner or eating lunch or whatever. So you want to have like a third of your plate to be dedicated to fruits and vegetables, like these cucumbers and peppers that we have here.
Okay, everybody grab a little bit of fruit. Just pour a little bit of fruit on there.
I don't have a plate.
Oh.
Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for having us, guys. Glad you guys are so enthusiastic about cooking.
Who wants to be a super chef?
Me.
Oh, those super chefs, they really know how to cook, Dean.
That wraps up another edition of Fraser Focus here, local places and faces from the Fraser region.
If you guys have a story to tell, don't forget to contact us via email. You can give us a call, or there's always social media, JoyTV.BC. I'm Leah Bolton.
And I'm Dean Atwell. Thanks for watching.